What is going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Doing okay. Just hurt myself, though. Sitting there telling Mrs. Rabbit I was getting ready to stream and everything. Whenever I give her a kiss, hit my knee on a piece of furniture. Sucks getting old, guys. Sucks getting old. All right, we took that out. You guys can't see me again. Oh, that's because I didn't do that. Much better now, right? It's the pain that was causing the issues. Should be just happy I got the lights on and the camera running. So, we are out here in the deep desert. Like we said, we needed to focus on getting spice. Take a look here at our wonderful spice generator. We currently in our box do not have any, but we have residue. It's kind of weird. What I actually had done is I did move 6,000 melange that I had made back to Haga Basin, because I found when you get a little crazy out here and you end up being very productive, that last day moving can be hectic. You would think with this ginormous container here, 15,000 and 150 slots, it wouldn't be a problem, but it definitely can be. So usually about midweek or right around Saturday, I'll have to go to Haga for something. So I will end up going back and I'll take a bunch of stuff with me. A lot of times I only do that as an assault, but we had some other movement and some other stuff to do, and I was like, you know what, I could really use that cargo container. So we did. That is going to warrant a change in our base back in Haga, because the way I do it now, it's a little rough. Okay. It's a little rough doing the I don't have a set spot for my storage container. I don't like it anymore. So I've been thinking earlier, it's like every time I have to do this, it's annoying. It didn't bother me because I haven't been out here for the last several weeks. So I just kind of backburnered it, and there we are. But anywho, so what are we going to do? Well, in that trip back to Haga, we found out that we still need more titanium and stravidium. Of course we do. What we gathered wasn't quite enough to fill up what we need, so we're going to go out and get some more of that. And then, of course, we're going to do some spicing, which will be wonderful. I do have a little bit of spice sand here left over. Didn't have enough to make another batch with, but we're going. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to break down our buggy. We're going to head out to the islands, and we are going to gather some materials. Now, the last time we were out there, or at least the one we went to, it was pretty choked with peoples, which is a good thing. I mean, you know, more people means more players, right? So let's see. I don't think we can cross. Oh, Go-Pilot's done. He's like, nah, I'm out of here. I don't think we can cross an entire section of the deep desert. Let's go. Okay, so out here, right here. This is a spice field, one of the largest. This is, I think, Stravidium Island. Nope, I lied. That's titanium. So there's a ton of titanium right here. And then over here, there is a ton of Stravidium. Now, it would be nice to just build one base, mine, and then be able to go to the other one without getting too crazy. But I don't think that we will be able to make those distances. This right here and this right here, that is a lot of open space to try to get past without a worm coming. And if this field is up and there's people doing stuff, they might actually appreciate somebody drawing the worm away. But so we might have to do a little bit of transportation. However, that does open up something for us, since we have to fly somewhere. And we know this island is very clogged. Maybe we could build something. Maybe we could build something small on one of these outliers here. And then we could just fly if we had to. I don't know. We'll see what happens when we get out there. Let me close this door because somebody kicked it open. Oh my gosh. Hey, kitty. Oh, you're Oliver. Holy cow. Hey, what's up, dude? Hi. Yeah, hi. Want to come over here? You're not normally in here, so you want to say hi to everybody? Come on. There you go, folks. This is Mr. Oliver. He looks... You probably can't see him, can you? He can't see you. Come over to this side, dude. Over here. There we go. Oh, you're going to rub that? Hey. He normally doesn't hang out in here. Yeah, I know you don't like being picked up either. None of my cats like being picked up. It's horrible. Why have them? Why have them? All right, so first thing we're going to do is we got to break this buggy down. I do have a little bit of an inventory change. Carrying a whole bunch of fuel cells because you need them. And I brought some thumpers. Now, normally when you see somebody with some thumpers, that is a sign of nefariousness. You know, they're getting ready to do something naughty. That is not the case for me. The reason I have them is if you hit your J, which brings up your journey, right? You got all these different achievements. This is just stuff you do normally in the game. I've said before, I am a completionist. I'm an achievement hunter. So just to get a check in the box makes me feel good, so I do it. And I noticed that although I was very thorough up until a certain point, we got some deep desert stuff and some shield wall stuff that I just didn't finish. They're silly little things. Like the smoke trail one, right? I got to research the missile launcher. I have to make one. Then I have to make missiles, and then I have to kill enemies with the launcher. Now, it's funny because I didn't actually make one. I found a Regis one somewhere. I don't remember where. So I skipped that without even knowing I was supposed to do it. Whatever. So I just have to make one, and that'll go away. But here we have There's Never Enough, which is a spice-related achievement. And you have to bring a sandcrawler to a large spice field, which I've done. You have to harvest spice from it with the sandcrawler, which I've done. But what I did not use was I did not use a thumper to distract a worm away from the sandcrawler. So I have to go to a large field, drop a thumper, and keep it from eating my sandcrawler because it goes after the thumper instead. I'm hoping, because I'm going to try to do this solo, I'm wondering if you're supposed to do it in line. Yeah, I get it. But it doesn't say it has to be an active field. Just saying. So I think if I land, even on an empty field, drop this, and then go back, once it comes up, it'll click. Maybe, I don't know. I am tracking it, but that's why I have thumpers. So don't think I'm out there trying to get people screwed over. I also do have to be kind of careful with that because I could get somebody killed. That's not cool. So, and there's no way. I mean, luckily, I have it on stream here, so we could, I could prove my case there. But if there's no video evidence, how would you ever prove to anybody that it wasn't your intention to get them eaten by a worm, Come on. And we are going to do something a tad bit different this go around. It just annoys me to bring the items from the buggy. I have no space. From the buggy into the storage container out in the open. So I freed up. I had I have 2 bases in Haga, one of which I really wasn't using. So I freed that up. And we kind of opened up a slot. So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make a base. And it's not very, actually, I'll show you. Not bringing a whole lot of stuff with me. I'm bringing a decent amount of plastone. I'm hoping that's enough. I feel like I should grab more. I don't think I have more out here, so that might be a problem. A little bit of granite, enough to get some generators going. We're not getting fancy with this. And this stuff here is for some boxes, and this is for a pentashield. And then, of course, I got more fuel cells there as well. It doesn't have to be fancy. I don't need water out there. I don't need machinery. I don't need anything. All I need is a little place to stick a box so that I can go to the box and pull everything over and then go to, from the buggy, and then go to the carrier container, the cargo container, and bring it over. It'll be done in like 15 seconds compared to the minutes it takes me to do. And rainy open sand seems to complete it. I'm hoping. Because like I said, you're supposed to do that little journey in order. So you should just go out to a field. Congratulations. Then you should get some spice. Congratulations. And then you use a thumper to get the worm. So they kind of assume you're doing it. But we're going to see. So anywho, our first goal is we're going to head out to Stravidium and Titanium Islands. I don't know how much I'm going to get. As much as possible, I guess, would be the right answer. Before we run too far, I want to make sure, because I went out earlier. It didn't cause me a problem, but I went out earlier. Yeah, I left my Thopter sitting right here. I did not have a pocket scout. It could have been dangerous if something bad had happened. But we got one now. So this works pretty well. I mean, you can see it's not in there nice and straight, but I can live with it. This is kind of similar to what I want to do back in Haga. Just create a little hatch for those suckers to go into. Now we are off and running. Spicing's been interesting. There was like a 2-day period, at least for me, where I was going around and none of the large fields had popped. I thought I was missing one. So I deliberately went to all 4. Didn't sleep well last night, sorry guys. But I deliberately went to all 4 and yeah, it was just sand. I had a very interesting interaction with a person. Okay, this is a completely unwritten rule, and this is only in my opinion, so I'm not stating facts here. But large fields are for crawlers. Medium fields are for people with assaults, and then your small fields would be your scouts. That's basically kind of a very simplistic look at it. But what I'm saying there is the large fields have a huge quantity. You should be able to harvest a huge quantity in order to claim it, you know, and to work it. So if you're just flying around in a scout and you come across a large field, you see some guy down there with a crawler, he's way over there. He's eating a ship. But you know, the guy with the crawler, he's the one that makes sense. Because compacting draws the worm so much faster than running a sand crawler. That makes no sense, but whatever. So if you're just a little guy and you're compacting, go to the smalls and the mediums. That's what they're there for. It makes virtually no sense to take a crawler on a small field. I've done it, you know, just to see what's the effect, how much do you get, how long does it take. Now You know, for science, I did it a couple times. I don't touch them now. I'll leave them for players who are out there just to get a small amount of spice. And I did finally this morning. I found a large field that had popped, and I was like, great. There was no one on it, and I was like, even better. So I started getting ready to harvest it, and as I'm coming down towards it, the guy came by on an assault, and he actually messaged me and he said that let me know when you're done. I don't want to come down there and hand gather while you're crawling it. That's rude. That's really awesome because he's done it enough and he understands that a compactor's going to draw the worm aggro, and especially me being solo, I've got to get out, run over, move, do. There's a whole lot of extra things for me to get back up to safety. He didn't want to cause me problems. That's actually really cool. A lot of people don't know that. Some people know it and don't care, but a lot of people don't know the dangers involved in running a crawler across the sand. Where the hell am I going? Oh, I'm supposed to be going over here. And meeting somebody who kind of understood that and was like, "Oh, dude, yeah, I don't want to mess with you." So I only did like 2 breaches worth of crawling, and then I was like, "Yo, dude, I'm out of here." And he had gone, and I think he was doing a crash ship or something. And then I gave it up. So I kind of returned that favor. I could have stayed there and tried to harvest, you know, a full canister, full container on my. I have the Regis one too, so it would have been a long time. But it's just kind of a gentleman's agreement, a little bit of etiquette. It's been rough out here because the fast movers have been stuck in those medium fields like you wouldn't believe. Now, I know I just said a guy with a crawler, I should be going after larges. They weren't popping at all. So I was hitting the mediums. But anytime I would come along and I'd see a fast mover, somebody in an ornithopter, I would give ground. I'd be like, yeah, it's all yours, dude. Okay, so right here should be Titanium Island right here. Oh no, I think, no, yeah, it's this one right here in front of us. Thick with people. Thick with people, and I just saw an aircraft going around, so I'm wondering if there's somebody who's harvesting already. It's tough on these islands, man. I know I could be PvPing it, but let's take a look at something real quick. This isn't the only island out here, but why don't we go to that one? Up north of us, almost directly north, there is another field. So let's see if we could track that one down. Let's make it zoomed out a little bit. All these ads covering things. It's in H5. Sorry, it's right here. And it says that there is also a titanium island. I think right here. So I'm looking at Method GG. They have a really great site, really great job. They're saying that there's a testing station right here. They're saying that there is a field here, and then there should be a titanium island right here, but I'm not seeing it. Let's just go up and let's see what we can find out there, right? There's usually 2. One titanium, 1 strontium, and then on the other side of the map there's 1 titanium, 1 strontium. So they spread them out. There's usually 2. This was one of my predictions as far as a PvP versus a PvE deep desert was there's a lot of people who didn't want to go out to the deep desert because of the threat of getting attacked. And once that threat was removed, it was just a mad rush out here. And that's what you're seeing back there. I mean, I have so many bases built. There's very little space left for anybody else. Again, you know, it's good to have players. I was looking for the Forgotten Caves out in this deep desert this week. Couldn't find those, even though I was exactly where Method said it was supposed to be, so. My vehicle's in great shape, and I've got so much fuel on me, it's ridiculous. So I can afford to fly around and be investigative. But we'll see. That's an interesting position for a base to be built. Not too much around here. I will be very upset if this large spice field blows while I'm out here, because I am completely unprepared. I could compact the whole thing by hand. So I believe this is a station. The spice field is right over there, and there's spice on it. It's been hit pretty hard, but there's still spice on it. Let's go see if this testing station has, because they've done that before too. I've seen that where they've combined certain things. We are hoping for a whole bunch of hey buddy, a whole bunch of titanium on this island. Let's cut the auto fly. There's one. Oh, wait a minute. So this is an actual titanium island. You could tell because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 5 or 6 down there. Especially this over here, though. There are a bunch of nodes. So we're in the right place, and it looks like only a couple people had the same idea we did. So we're going to build a very quick, very simple, possibly ugly base. I'm not going to build it right here because anybody that wants to do that testing station would want to do it right here. We can make it up top on one of these little things because I do have a carrier, so I can maneuver a buggy if I need to. I don't know, I'm not feeling that, even though that should be well enough in. I don't want my stuff getting ate. That's a medium. Flew around this whole deep desert all morning, made laps through it, could only find barely anything. And now here we are. Okay, this looks a lot better. Decent slope. Don't have to worry about worms eating me. I'm just gonna yeet myself right out, not gonna drop the container. I'm just gonna whatever works, right? Okay, so what's the first thing we need to do is we need to go into here, and there's some salvage metal. Let's bring that over. That will let us get a Sub-Fief built. Don't really care too much about it. Too close to a no building zone, huh? Which one? Will it not let me build on the testing station island? I've never tried this. Okay, well, how about out there? Oh, look at that. The whole thing is. I was unaware. Learn something every day. All right, so we could build over here. I don't think a worm's coming through here. Yeah, no, we didn't get any worm sign coming across, so should be fine. Okay. Don't care too much about positioning. I just want to make sure I'm not overlapping an existing node. You know what I mean? That'll work. All right. Unfortunately, we're too far away from everything now, so sad face. Get a little bit closer. Are there tire tracks? This would be something I would have wanted to have done earlier in the week, but it's what it is. We are definitely running a little bit low on space. Of course, that's good. All right, that'll be enough at least to get things started. So, 7. Just need a basic foundation. We are not going to be fancy here today. I had thought about wanting to put something where I could park the carrier so that it would be safe in case of a storm, but I honestly don't believe that we're even going to get that crazy and or excited about it. Kind of surprised we aren't up in the air yet. But we got to be getting close. Yep. We were up in the air. I kind of knew we would be. Stop that. I don't even have to get this crazy about it because, like I said, this is just going to be a transition spot. I'm just going to kind of make a landing pad and a place to put some boxes. And I'm already out of plastone, huh? I had brought enough stuff in case I wanted to actually make a functioning little base, but the more I've gotten to it, and now that I'm out here, the less inclined I am to do such a thing. So I'll tell you what we're going to do, though. We are going to drop all of this stuff off because it's taking up spaces. And I think we'll go ahead and we'll make our buggy right now, and then we'll get power and all that other stuff. All right, where's the... There it is. Perfect. She just doesn't have fuel. Alright, now that we cleared out some space, I'm going to grab you, and you. And I guess I'll grab you and you. So we're going to go back into our gun here, and we actually need to go back to this. Let's do a generator real quick. We'll put that sucker right there. Good enough. And we got power. And then I'm going to make some boxes, and then I'll put this stuff inside of a wall, and I'm not even going to make a door or anything to it. I don't need that. So, I just don't want things to get blown up. That's fine. Alright, so we will go back. Well, actually, we're going to bring the cutter out. Let's go to storage. And only need one. I think I brought enough to make several, but we only really need one. That's all I'm doing. Now just back to here, we'll put some walls. So we'll drop this because I want to go into here. And we're just going to bring all this stuff over for right now. So this way we could build the walls without being interrupted. Why is it? Oh. You say, why is it angling? But it's actually not. It's just the dirt. Ah. Look at that. I care so little. I didn't even switch that to outer face. Switch walls somehow. Come on, man. We're spending way too much time on this silliness. Okay, and then for a roof, we're just going to put a roof up. Dude. What's up with that? Can't say I like that too much. I don't need to be this far out, so we'll demolish this to reclaim the materials. That'll suit our purpose, guys. I don't have to get super crazy. Actually, though, I think we will. The reason I say we will is because I want to put something over my the container, because I don't need a storm coming through and tearing that thing apart. This all can be just fine. So I feel like dude's gonna eat my base. I know he is. He sucks. All right, so go back to build. We'll do ourselves a quick little rampy ramp. That gets us up inside. Come on. I was going to do it out there, but now that the worm's flying around, I'm not too thrilled about that crap. Alright, back to walls. Got caught in a storm. I did save the video for it. I thought I could get away, and I didn't realize how close to the wall I was. Like the like the wall all the way on the edge. So I'm flying away, and I'm like, oh yeah, I got plenty of space. And then, boom, we hit that, and then sliding along the wall drove me right into the storm. So I had to fly by compass. Wings were red, damage everywhere. It was my own fault because I was dumb. I accept that. That's going to be there forever if I don't get rid of it. Ah. Dude, this worm is nuts today. What are you doing, brother? Come on. Yeah, we're breaking our design, but there are worse things, right? This will work. I mean, I don't have any doubt that it won't. Just depends on how well it works. What the hell was that sound? And we may want to expand on this in the future to make something that's a little more, you know, flashy. A little bit of... Oh, I don't want to do that. I'm going to have to do that here, though. Well, no, I won't. Let's go back and we'll make some pentashields, and that should finish us off. Utilities. Let's do you. Perfect. And then we'll do a horizontal one. Killed my Sub-Fief. Dude, it's just 2 pentashields, man. Unfortunately, though, I think I screwed myself because I don't have any more fuel cells. I stuck them all in here. We definitely don't need that many. Oh, it just barely went over. Seems like a lot of work. This is the first time I've done this, so that's why we're dealing with so much work. We'll get better at this for sure. So we drop that off, and this guy actually, we can, well, I thought for a while that I didn't mind having it out in the sands, but seeing the worms coming through here, I'm not too thrilled about that idea anymore. Alright. We're not even going to make the buggy a pretty color. So what that does, this whole little shenanigan thing there, is it makes it so when I go to transfer the items out of the buggy and try to get them in that cargo container, that I can do it real quick and real easy. It honestly won't take long to break that base down either. I brought a Solido out just in case I wanted to make a copy of it, but I don't think I will. I got some worm sign there. Did you see that? Getting brazen. All of this for titanium. Stay there. You'll be alright, sweetheart. You just hang out. Daddy will be back. could if we wanted to do. We could do that testing station as well. Don't know that that's high on my list of things to do right now. Probably should. A little bit more exciting than mining and harvesting spice. Whoa, hey, big guy. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey. I don't quite like this anymore. What is this guy doing? Unfortunately, I did not have the ability to record it, but I did almost get eaten. I've gotten a little lazy on my reaction time when I get a worm sign when I'm harvesting. I mean, oh, look at me about to die. I still take it seriously, but not as serious as I did in the early days when it was terrifying. Now it's just kind of like, oh yeah, I know, okay, I'll leave. And it was one of those short spawns when he pops up. Cat wants out good. When he pops up right beside you or very close. I actually got the zoom out animation, and when he came across the sand, he was riding on the top with his mouth open. I did get away though, but I was like, dude, okay, I am sorry for my arrogance. I will give you the respect you deserve, sir. Message received. Oh, there's another one up there, but I don't know if I care. Could probably get 3 or 4 of these ground-based nodes in the time it takes me to climb up the rocks like that, because that one wasn't in a very... Yeah, see how it's up top there? We'll just skip over it. Somebody with an ornithopter can grab that one, right? Last week I was talking about the Landsraad stuff, and I showed the ones that I wanted to get. We did kind of lag up a little bit there and get a little lazy, but we did get everything we wanted. I wanted the set of wings, a Bloodshot buggy engine, and a Sandwalker engine, and we did get all of them. So I'm super excited about that. Guessing there's a ship he's eating. I have done nothing to anger him. Oh, look at that. Inventory is full. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go to inventory, and we'll split you real far down. Pull this over, pull that over. I'm not going to hit another node, because our next step is going to be to go see if we could sneak in there without anybody seeing us. So we'll just head over back to the old base. That's not a good sign, because when you see those little nubbins laying around, it means there's somebody around who's also mining. Guess that's why those tire tracks were there. But apparently they filled up and we're super happy. So, the issue that I had before was that I would have to take it out by hand in there. Now I can just come in here. We can select our buggy. And almost all of it. Sorry. Now I'm going to go to this, and I want to put... Doesn't really matter. I need to start doing the alphabetizing thing so much faster. Not being stupid about it, but whatever. Okay, there. She's empty, and we're ready to go again. That would have... dude. Yeah, I did spend a decent amount of time making this little outposting thing, this little resource base. But in this situation, it may not be quite so valuable. But let's say I needed tons and tons of titanium. If I needed a whole lot to where I was going to be out here multiple times over the week, mining every bit of this, then it would make sense. It would appear as though I did not empty what was in my backpack. A little shaky there. So that little red thing is going to continuously show up. It's not going to bother me enough to get rid of it, though. That was neat. A little Spider-Man looking stuff. These guys are going to come out here and they'll be like, oh, let's hit up the Plastanium or the titanium before we head out. And I'll be like, dude, where is it all? Normally I try to be as friendly as possible and not take every bit of this stuff, you know, leave some for other people. I don't think I'm going to do that now, though. I think we're going to grab everything we can. I understand why you guys build here. Man, this is great. Look at this thing. This is nuts. Come on. Oh. I didn't even know there was two there. Wonder if I hit that fast enough. It'll give me the height that I need. Or the momentum. Oh, we got a worm on us already? Dude, we just got here. Go up, go up. Oh, it does not do it. We'll figure out if it's worth it or not. It might fill up just from everything laying on the ground here. Holy cow. Anybody else notice deep desert worms are a lot more irritated than they used to be? Or is it just me? I feel like in all the stuff I've been doing out here this week, these guys have been on me constantly. You know, my crawler, oh, look at this. Oh, my crawler, I've got the dampened treads, I wear soft step boots, I do everything the way I'm supposed to. And it's just been non-stop messing with me. They're always there, like this guy. Like this worm here bothering me. Alright, so I think we are going to make another run back. Oh look, this stuff's respawning already. So it's been a while since somebody's been here. That's fine. Yeah. Alright, this time we're going to remember to come down here and do that. And also, I'm going to go ahead and do that. We'll do that as well, because we don't need any of this stuff, so that'll be fine. Okay, starting from scratch, we go to buggy. Okay. Oh, I don't need to do that. See, that's what I'm trying to do it. Idiot. Boop, 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 boop. That's a lot of titanium, guys. All right, so that's 2,500. We're going to finish out this line. I'm going to come out of here with a solid 10K. We'll see what it does. And then, once we're done here, if I wanted to stay out here, I'd leave that base up, but I think I'm just going to tear it down right now. I don't expect to be back in the next day or two. So, it won't be such a big deal, but man, I could definitely go smaller. Now that we made the decision that we only want to protect the cargo container and not worry about the carrier, to let her just sit out in the sun. Unfortunately, we are not. When we're winning the Landsraad, everybody is choosing production. That was strange. I didn't take that. You hear him? You hear your brother out there? Uses. Come on, buddy. Hi. Mm-hmm. Are we all good? Okay now? Come here. Pickle! Pickle! We'll put Pickle down. I don't want to pick you up. You're comfy. I'll show you off later. Okay. Did you hear the cats?
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Alright, well, looks like the carrier's going to take some damage, huh? Hey. Let's not do that, please. Thank you. Do not do that. Oops. Whoa, 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 you're falling. You're falling. Calm down. Hey. Why are you so freaky? You alright? Yep. He's mad at me now because I moved him and then he got scared. So we have a storm coming within a few minutes. At this point, it doesn't give me indication where it's coming. But there are a few things that we can tell. Number one, let's look at the map. I am incredibly close, as you can see, to the top of the map. We know it's not coming this way. I'm also right about in the center, to be honest. So it could be coming from either direction. It's going to be coming left or right. I'm not sure which way. With enough warning, you can get out of the sector that the storm is coming to. But I should have been in the air already. So we've kind of made our decision that we're going to wait this one out. What I may try to do, excuse me, it's got the hiccups now, is get that carrier in a slightly better position. I didn't even know there was another person here. Oh, wait, yeah, of course, duh. I may try to get that carrier in a slightly...
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Better position if there is one here. But we are definitely running out of time. I really don't understand why it's not on my compass yet. Lady's warning me about it. Doesn't look like there's any real good spots to tuck that in there. We're gonna see if we can find one though. We should be finished up pretty soon, I think. Yeah. There is the cave where the
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Too. There is the cave where the testing station is. That has some possibilities. Whee! Dangerous. This should fill us up. Told you. Since I know we just got way more than I had actually planned, I'm not going to worry about that too much. Still no storm on the radar, lady. Alright, so that'll be safe. We're going to unload that in a second. I want to try to do something with this.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Alright, so storm is that way. It looks like it's pretty much coming straight at us, and unfortunately we're dead center. So normally I could go left or right. It looks like I've got some room to the left, but I don't think this big girl is going to make that. Let's try. I can vulture, which will get me a whole lot more since I don't have something being carried. Oh, we did make it. Okay, we're still in the path, but we're going to get away. So we should actually stop getting the notifications now of that storm. But it is going to hit the little tiny base that we built. There are worse things. I think we need to go further.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Okay, so we're still in range. We had to go a lot further than I thought. We should be clear now. Oh my gosh, that was the wrong thing to do. Well, we were not, in fact, far enough out of it. But we are on the outskirts, so just gotta watch out for the rocks. Them wings ain't good, man. Them wings are not good. So this is not how I planned things to go. Like those wings don't want to come back to life on that other side. We are going to just get ourselves up off the ground right now. That should do it. I really thought we were clear, but I was wrong. Well, just paid the price for not making that base big enough to house this bad boy. Otherwise, I'd have just stood there and waited it out. Maybe we should invest in doing that. So I do not have enough welding wire on me in order to get everybody up to 100%. That storm took a ton of damage off of us. I'm not sure if the island that we're on has that. Dude, stop. There's any scrap metal laying around. I normally don't care about scrap metal because it's so easy to find. It's a rather large island with... No, darn it. And I'm fairly certain I don't have any scrap metal on me. I do not. Seriously? No salvage metal at all on this island. Can't say I've ever really seen that. I've never looked. It's never been an issue. Alright, we got a couple of them fixed. Let's see if we can find some over here. We'll set down again, and then we'll go retrieve our buggy and all that. Man, I believe it's 7 times. Yeah, there's a bunch here, right? Oh, that's mine. This is the real world. Alright, I guess the bigger island is the way we gotta go. I guess it's also safe to say that my storm riding lesson from earlier did not take. So apparently I had to be taught that lesson a second time, and we, going forward, will not be quite so arrogant in our ways. And this guy's still hanging around. Hi, crash ship. Another spice to throw over there. So I know there's salvage metal in our little temporary base. So that at least won't be a problem. Another spice throw. Game is testing me, boys. Testing me. That is so strange. Usually you point in any direction, you find salvage metal. Oh, above Ero it won't be there? Yeah, we did bring some along, so... that at least is a good thing. At least our buggy didn't take damage. That... Get... Oosh. That's the important part. I think you're going to be in here, aren't you? 55. I don't know if that's going to be enough to get it done either. So we're going to craft some welding wire here. Oh, it'll make us do 11? Be plenty. Because I have the Landsraad bonus, it flies through there before you could even tell. And now we should have over 1,000, right? 500 there. 1,400. Haha! Take that, storm damage. The other problem is everything's going to be hurt on this thing, and there's so many stuff we have to go... oh, that's never really hurt. That's not hurt. You're repaired. Oh, they kind of broke a little bit on the way over. Why am I not consuming any? Oh, there we go. Okay. I think I just got a free repair, guys. Not gonna complain. When I first started playing this game, the first time I came out here in the deep desert with a sandstorm, I was like, oh, I'm gonna ride it. Let's do this. Because I knew they were stronger than the ones in Haga, and you could ride through the ones in Haga pretty well. That thing tore my scout up. Dude, there's rocks flying around in there. Hey, my torch is about to break. That's unhelpful. There's like rocks flying through, lightning bolts, and it is insanity inside the big deep desert storms. Alright, so I want to make sure that we get both of these last two wings as repaired as I can, because it looks like we might not make it all the way. I'm watching that line below there. This torch is going to break quick. Is there anything else that needs fixed? You're fine. You're good. You're good. Okay, I think we got... oh my gosh, could you imagine if it breaks before I can get my buggy torn apart? Does that take... like, stuff? Make happen? Yeah, freaking hope not. Ah! This has been a horrible experience, by the way. Before we do that, we got to empty it out. And we got to jump in for no reason because we're stupid. Okay, let's hope that our torch makes it. Alright, so I wanted to go all the way through, and we definitely did that with extra, so that's fine. I'm not going to make you watch me do this on Strabidium Island, but you get the same idea. The whole reason we did that was because this is so much faster, and it makes me happy to get that done super quick. Standing there and taking a little bit, boom, 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 back and forth. Yeah, you can do it, but man, was that just... It hurt my soul to do that. So I didn't want to do it anymore. Everything else we'll leave on here. And I don't care too much about the plastone for the floor. I can live without that. It does take power from... Oh. If this thing breaks, dude. If this thing breaks. I mean, it's my own fault for repairing. It's my own fault for getting stuck in the storm. Oh my gosh. Yep, it sure does, Banu. It sure did. But you know what? We got it. So I don't need to break that down. So the torch broke just as we picked up the last piece of the buggy. I can deal with that. I think we still have something in our inventory, don't we? No? Did we get the whole buggy in there? Chassis, bank, engine, back. Yeah, everything's in there. Okay. All right, so at this point, that's empty. Everything else is empty. We're just going to tear this base down. And we're going to head back. We're going to head back to our functioning nicely base. I do have a repair place there. So we'll be able to fix everything. That was strange. You see that? But yeah, it's we'll be able to fix... I don't want to use you. We'll be able to fix our broken torch or grab another one if I want to. We do have other ones there, so won't be too bad. Something I've done before, like let's say we decide that yeah, we want to get everything. We don't want to leave anything behind. I normally don't like leaving foundations and such. In the event that you feel like you want to do that, if you have a cargo container sitting on foundations when you break them up, normally when you break a foundation, anything that's on it suddenly disappears, so it's an easy way to like unknowingly delete a Sub-Fief, stuff like that. But for this, because it's considered a vehicle, when I delete this, it's going to teeter, and then when I delete this, it's going to sit straight on the ground. So you can't destroy a vehicle with the construction tool. So no fear in that aspect. And for the most part, we got everything back. Because it wasn't here long enough, even though we did go through one storm. She took a little bit of damage, but nothing too extensive. It's in somewhat better shape. And we'll pick her up on the fly. We are gone. So we're going to head straight back there. Another 20k jump. We will auto fly. Didn't even realize it was on. And we'll manage our thrusters just fine. I'm going to take a real quick break while we're flying back. I hear a dog out there. I'm not sure what he wants. But give me just a few minutes. We'll be right back. You don't have to sit through the flying time. So catch you back in just a second. See, wasn't that long of a break at all. We're back. How lucky am I allowed to be? Well, I mean, I foolishly played with a storm. I've been having worms chasing me all day. And almost had to make this 20k trip back to my base just to fix my torch because I went out without having a fixed torch. I've broken a lot of my own personal rules. The only thing I did right was I brought enough fuel. That we at least did that correctly. Other than that, we got some issues. Need to wake up. So I'm going to take this back. We're not going to build another base like I just did. I mean, I'm going to for Stravidium, but we'll do that later. And because I've been focusing so much on spice, I want to make sure all the water I have back there I can use for spice. So I probably won't produce this. That used to be an issue back in the day before cargo containers could haul so much stuff. It was better to build a base out here in the deep desert that you could use to refine these resources. So instead of taking a whole bunch of titanium and a whole bunch of Stravidium back to Haga, you would just take a whole bunch of finished Plastanium. And you got everything back when you destroyed the machines. That's what cost the most. Who cares about walls? You know, you take some damage, it's fine. But now with the cargo container, it's not quite as required. I like doing it just because if I go back to Haga, there's already a bunch of stuff there I have to do or want to do, and I'm likely to get sidetracked in it. So I prefer to kind of just stay out here. Weekdays, I'll get a couple hours a night to play. On the weekends, I can extend that more. So having just a few hours, I like to just pick a task, something I'm going to be focused on, and then stay on it, you know. But yeah, the cargo container definitely opened up the transiting. Just puts a lot of wear and tear on your carrier from a guy who just drove his through a storm. When I hit the storm there, you'll notice the compass starts doing this because you're getting batted around and everything, etc. Your wings are out, so they're going to take damage. Going vulture, I don't know what that looks like for you guys, but my back two wings are not moving at all. I'm sure that's just a visual problem because I do see them. No, they aren't moving at all. What's the matter with you guys? I fixed everything. Visual glitch. Screw it, we're in the air, who cares? Yeah, with the cargo container, it does make sense, especially since the whole time I've been out here, the water machines have been running back home. Should be pretty full. I took all of the titanium strontium that I had from the last time we did this earlier in the week, and brought most of that. I brought half of it as finished product, and the other half I brought as raw materials. I won't make that decision until the very end, though, because with the production bonus, come like Sunday night, Monday night when we're streaming, if we decide to tear things down, I'm kind of usually looking for stuff to make to use the water, so I don't have to try to refill it and transport it back. But we're going to drop this off. We're going to fix our welding torch. We're going to make sure we've got plenty of supplies, and we're going to go out and hunt down some spice. And we're going to try to see if we can drop a thumper on a field and make that use a thumper to distract a worm away from the sand crawler. Go away. Looks like we're a little thirsty. I'll wear a still suit when I'm out here doing this, just because I don't pay attention to it enough, as you can see. And I'm not doing any fighting, so I don't need armor. Whenever I usually like to keep my still suit at least 2 packets empty. You can see the 5 sitting over there. Just because that's free water. Normally it would just go away. But it's, you know, reclaimed by the still suit. So we'll use that versus what we have in our canteens. And you do, over time, you'll notice a difference. Canteen again. Leader John. But yeah, your Leader John, you'll notice whenever I'm in the still suit and I do finally make it back to base after I'm done doing whatever I was doing, it's like, you know, a quarter to half the water used as normal. Are you selling the Plastanium, or why do you need so much? I am not selling it. I guess it's Ulrich, yes, sorry. It's like the box to be full. I do have the option to sell it. But, that's not where you go. That was a dropping the, sandcrawler move right there. I do have a plan for Plastanium coming up. Once I get my crafting skills maxed and I can make like 200 gear. Oh, that was great placement. Oh my gosh. Ah, it's just a little off-centered, but come on. At least I could do that right. Once my crafting gets up higher, I plan on building a lot more of like the 200 durability gear. I've got a long way to go before that occurs, but it is on the menu. The other thing is, if you know somebody and you're friendly, you can get it to where you could find somebody and say, hey, can you... Oh. I have the materials. If I give you whatever, can you come build this stuff for me? Give them access to the machine and the materials, and they can do it. I climbed up top here, but I gotta go fix this thing before I can use it. I didn't used to have a repair station out here. I would always just keep an eye on it, go back to Haga, fix things, switch things out, bring extras. This is a great addition to any deep desert base. I mean, specifically for a reason like this. Now that torch is ready to go. Everything else looks like it's fine. You just got to remember to bring the materials out. Like, for instance, this power pack needs quite a few things. So, you know, basically some plastanium, some aluminum, duraluminum, cobalt, silicon block. You're going to need some of this. Some spice melange as well. unless you pull it from your base storage. If you're out here making it, aluminum for your leader johns, and then, you know, etc. It's not a big list of stuff. It's just whatever you're carrying, you're gonna need to make sure you bring. All right, so I want to go upstairs, and we want to make sure this thing is fixed before we go back out. All the wings are good. Took a little bit. That was just from the flight over. Thrusters in good shape. We'll go click. Just top off the wings and everything else. Make sure. Normally these things don't take damage unless you hit a storm. Or somebody shoots rockets at you if you're in PvP. Alright, so she's fixed. She's back in good shape. So we're getting ready to head out and do some spicing. So first thing I want to do is make sure, I usually try to repair this when I'm done. Like when I come back, I'll go drop it off, start the machine up, and then I come and repair this guy. It looks like that's what I did. She's still got some damage, a little bit of dents and scratches on it, but it's okay. So she's ready to go. And then I want to make sure that she's fueled. So we'll take a quick look. 100% fuel, 71% on our spice container, 77 on the treads. It's not ideal. Yeah, it'd be nice if it was like super full and perfect, but still got a lot of light in this old girl here. Okay. I actually didn't have to land the carrier where we did. I want to make sure I got enough fuel. I do not. What I like to have is I have 3. That is my standard use, and then I like to have another 5 at least below that. So we got to go get some fuel. Crawler will be all right out there for just a second. This box here should have it in there. Look at that, it does. 1, 2, 3, cuatro, cinco. Let me see it. Okay, good. So, plenty of fuel. Last thing we'll do is fill up the water. Like I said, it's not that bad wearing a still suit. People said, why do you have a still suit? Do you even use it? Yeah, for stuff like this, it comes in pretty handy. I don't know where I'm going, though. And here we go. So, what I like to do, I'll hit auto fly. We'll make sure we're not dropping in altitude and not climbing too much. And I do kind of a zigzag pattern. I know you can look on the Method GG site and it'll tell you where everything is, and you know, you'll be able to hit them and go directly to them. But I like at least a little bit of adventure in here. I found that I can usually see pretty far away, so I'm going to set it up to go right about here. This way I'll know this whole back corner is good, and then we just head west and east with a little bit of, you know, angling when we're resetting those lines. But we're gonna see. Look at that, we were very close, and we're just flying. Poor time of the day for this, right in the middle of the day, so everything's as bright as possible. You would think that would be good because that way you can see the spice on the ground, but we also can't see anything around us until we're past it or right over top of it. And I know we were out in that area. We were actually more this way. And, well, no, we were way over here, actually. we're in the middle of the map in that back row, and we were seeing some spice blooms. So we got one that we're heading to right now. I'd kind of talked about it a little bit earlier about when I was out here this morning. I had a guy that was really cool. He saw what I was doing. He was like, "Hey, I'm gonna leave you to it." And then I just did my 2 rows. Was like, "Hey, man, I rolled out. It's all yours." And it was very good interaction, the way it should be. I've also had where I was 3 runs into a medium field, so I'd gone forward, back, and was doing forward and coming back, and a guy landed in his assault opter right beside me, and just kunk, 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 kunk. I was like, dude, I put in a message. I was like, seriously? Normally, if you go up to a field and you see somebody is on it, you're too late. You were too late. Move on. Go look for more. Can people harvest together like that? Absolutely. I personally don't like more than 2 people on a medium, 3 people on a large. Worm aggro happens. I lost a thopter and myself to getting eaten by a worm that spawned directly on me. It came up like its breach came up on me. It came up in the middle of the field, killed me and another guy. People in the chat were like, how did that happen? Holy cow. Never seen them come out of the actual field itself, but it did. This was a long time ago. You see, it's still ain't freaking happy about that. But there was like 6 people on this large field, all compacting and going crazy. My sand crawler, I've got the dampened treads, I've got the Regis container, I'm wearing soft step boots, I have a compact compactor. I do all the things required to try to make this the best experience possible. I spent some, hey, there's a small over there. You can barely see it, but once you do this enough, you get used to it. You get pretty good at picking them out. I got my skills set up to maximize this. Got a little bit of worm threat from one of the specializations, so it's dropped a little bit. Point being, I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just saying I'm kind of built to get out here and get spice as quietly and as efficiently as possible. And the last thing I need is a bunch of other people around who aren't. If you're not there yet, you're not there yet. It's not your fault. But, when I'm sitting here and I'm flying around and I come down and I've got all my decent gear, and then some guy lands in his thopter and jumps out and he's in his underwear. The only thing he's got on him is a compactor, and he just starts going ape crazy, just like, dude, come on. Hey, friend. Oh, there's a couple friends. Look at this. I don't think there's a large over there, so they might be... Oh, look, there's a medium right there. Okay, here's a perfect example. So, there's a medium field right down in there. I just barely saw it, and I see this guy up top here. I'm assuming that he is harvesting that field. He was just hovering, now he's dropping down. So, my assumption, it was safe. That is the guy. I could go over there and try to start jumping in. I'm not going to. I missed it. Move on. I'll go find more. Good luck to you, sir. Now, I have come across a bunch of those fields where apparently with the server merges, with the closings and all that some savages have come to my server, because they'll come here and they'll mine all the inside of the medium field and then leave the leave like a ring. Just looking at that, but that's just shadowing. But they'll leave like the outer ring, because it's just not worth their time. Don't be that way. If you're gonna hit a field, claim it all. We're a little too high right now. Midday from a distance, sometimes it's real hard to discern between a spice field and like some of these shadows. Like originally there was one up here, this one, I think I'm looking at it and I'm like, boy, it has kind of a purple tint, but the closer you get to it, the more you'll see that, no, that's just shading. Spice is supposed to be blue. In the source material, it is blue, which is why your eyes turn blue from it. But they chose not to do blue because the sky is blue. All right, so we got a field right here in front of us. Might have been one of the fields we saw. It's that one way off from a distance, and from here it looks like it's intact. I don't know if that's people or shading. It looks like it's just shading. All right, so we got ourselves a medium field that is untouched by the hands of man. So we're coming down. Solo crawling, you know, if you don't have a guild or you don't have friends or you don't know anybody or you just want to do it yourself, it's not the easiest thing. It's not hard. But what I like to do when I come up onto a field like this, the larges are great because it's perfectly level, so it's real easy to do. On a medium like this, they'll be on hillsides, they'll be on top of hills, whatever. I want to find the best approach angle for this thing. And it looks to me like this will be it. Now, here lately, every time I drop this thing, it's like a coin flip as to whether or not this is going to land stable or if it's going to get yeeted. Yep. Got yeeted and now it's down over there. You know what? That'll be fine. I've had them skate down hills. I've tried putting them sideways. I've tried being lower. I've tried everything. I think it happened. What is going on here? Is that the wing? That was weird. I couldn't do it. That was scaring me. I think that when they upped the vehicle bounce because people were like trying to grief each other on fields, I think that somehow affected this. I think that bounce is for everything now. So when this is touching the ground, if it's not hitting it exactly right, and we can't control that drop speed, so I don't know. Hopefully they are aware of it, I believe, and hopefully we'll be doing it. Now, what I like to do with these fields, you can either go slow and it'll pick up every bit in one pass, or you could do what I'm doing, which is just go over and then back. Honestly, dealer's choice, whatever you'd like to do. I don't like on medium fields to do, I don't like doing the slowness. I'm on the ground, let's just get it done. I got scary music playing now. Usually get about 17k of spice sand from one of these guys. And I try to get every bit of it. I don't always get it. Like you'll notice I stopped a little too soon over there. So I'm going to leave that. But I'm not just going to hit the middles here and then roll on. I'm going to try to get every bit of it. And we'll see what it does. You can see when I went up that hill, that caused a little bit of deflection. So I'm not actually coming back straight where I was. File a complaint here eventually. And doing it this way, I am almost guaranteed to get 3 passes, no problem, and I can get back up in the air, never see a worm. I can do 4, I can do 5 as well. I also like hitting this middle section first because let's just say bad things happen and I have to abandon this field. Something's broken, whatever's going on. I have to go back and repair or whatever. Just if anything bad happens. The amount of time that I've been here, I want it to be as productive as possible. So that's why we're hitting these center lines first, and then we'll take care of the wings. So we are now on our 4th. At this point, it gets a little bit dangerous. So I'm kind of on guard for that little worm meter to start going crazy. If it does, I immediately hit C, which will bring up the vacuum so I can move faster. And then my goal is to get this crawler as close to the carrier as I possibly can so that I can get up and off the sand as quickly as I need to. It's funny because inside I feel so much better here because I'm so close as I do when I'm all the way at the end. Like, for instance, what I'm about to do is bad. This is a bad idea. Got a little crazy there with the screen because I was running into my own carrier. So this is my 5th run up to the top here. Also, when I get out, I'm going to get out on the side that's facing us right now. So if I turn a little bit when I get up to my carrier, when I jump out, I'll be looking right at it. That is definitely super safe. If I had a friend with me, I would probably do circles on these fields. Alright, so I'm pointing the wrong direction, which is why now we have to go all the way around, but... So we get out, we get up, activate the claw, and for this point now, straight up. That's what I've always found, straight up's the best way to go. Some people say you have to get up to like 500 meters. That's give or take, because I go until that little worm threat thing disappears. The altitude is based off of something under the sand. It's kind of like there's a level, I don't know if it's the bedrock, I doubt it because these worms wouldn't be able to do what they're doing. But there's like a point down there that is universal 0. So to say go 500, you don't know if there's a dune right underneath you that he can ride up and smash you at, or what. Sometimes they will go a little airborne. I just go until the meter disappears. And then we're going to hang out here. At this point, we'll refuel. I wish there was a way for me to see how much spice I've gotten. But I can't access a vehicle in tow. I'd have to actually be in it. And we're just letting him calm down. He's going to go do his thing. So now we'll judge where we want to go back in for our second set of runs. I usually try to go in the middle and then work my way in one direction. So that answers the question. I'm going to go the other way because there'll be more spice. So you can see here, if I land and grab that little bit and then have to leave, it's not going to be as good as if I grab the rest of this. I don't know if I'll get all of that, but we're going to try to. And we'll come at it from the same angle. On medium one's easy by going around 2 times, then lift up, then 3 times lift. Yeah, I don't normally increase yield. Yes, I do have the increased skills. So I am as specced out as I can to be doing this. Hey, look at that. We didn't yeet that sucker. Since I'm going this way and going to be coming over here, I'm going to park. Man, them wings are still pissed. Hi, can I get out now, please? Thank you. Alright, so we've already got scary worm music. You can see him up there on the hillside. How much time do you have to get back up to the chopper and fly up before the worm eats you? Man, I don't know how to answer that question. It really depends on where he spawns. They do have a close spawn just to kind of add some scariness to the mix. So if he spawns real close, you've got much less time. But in your head, I guarantee you have more time than you think you do. Unless you're getting cocky like I was earlier and just took way too much time. We'll see. I'm sure he's going to come out quick. Like how my carrier's dabbing. if you've got a patrolling worm like I do, whoa, that was scary. Um, if you have a patrolling worm like I do, if you just turn off the vacuum, you'll minimize your sound. He might go away. He's not going to leave. If he's patrolling the area, you're going to have to deal with him. But he may de-aggro and go do something else. Whereas if you just keep harvesting, he's definitely going to take notice. Lore-wise, they say that even just standing there, they detect heartbeats. Which is really cool, but also BS, because if he can hear a heartbeat from a dude standing on the sand, all the people that are out here in the deep desert with me, making all sorts of noise, he'd be hearing them instead of just me sitting there quietly holding my breath, filling my still suit up. Alright, here's our third run. I've heard that on controller it's a lot easier to maintain your speed, so you only have to do a single pass. I do not have a controller hooked up to this PC. I guess I could, but just going balls to the wall full speed works pretty well for me. See if we can kind of get a count, because I'm about to aggro somebody pretty soon. The worm's gonna breach, goes up in the air, opens his mouth, sand flies everywhere, then he dives back down, and then he starts coming towards you. So that gives you kind of a gauge of your time. You're being very generous to me. If I get this whole side, which I don't think I will, but if I get this whole side, we'll just stay on the sand and kind of drive around a little bit. See if we can get an idea of how long we actually have before Shai Halud gets to us. There we go. Alright, so he's back there. So he's going to get up. That was a quick spawn because he's already kind of moving in our direction. And right about there, he would have eaten me. So he'd have been up out of the sand with his mouth open. So that gives you kind of an idea. That was what, 10 seconds? I got patrolling worm music. Hello, he just tried to do it, dude. Calm down. That was a very quick spawn. Luckily, we were close to the carrier when that happened. So, Blossom, that's the best I can tell you. 10 to 20 seconds. I would always aim for about 10 seconds, but it's pretty easy to do that. What you want to do is you're making decisions before you actually start harvesting. So, for example, I want to pick the right direction that I want to go after this last little bit here. Got it. Alright, well, we're just going to drop that down. Skadoosh, right? And now I don't have any sound in my Thopter. That's great. Dude needs to calm the hell down. It's actually really disorienting not hearing the blades going. That patrolling worm's not supposed to hurt you, but they made a change on this that if you touch the worm anywhere, he will get you. So if he breaks the surface, bad things are going to occur. Now, because I kind of annoyed him there, and he's patrolling around, I'm going to give him a little bit. You want to judge how much spice you're going to try to get as to how long you want to stay up in the air. If you stay up here for like a minute, minute and a half, he'll probably go away. And you'll reset aggro. Not sure where he went. But I don't see him anywhere. That doesn't matter so much. His proximity. If he's in the area, he'll be patrolling. It's still going to be the same amount of aggro time. Okay, so I'm going to come down here. We're going to be going up and down this hill. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start on the outside. We're going to drop our carrier, our crawler right there. That's actually pretty good. And I'm going to go up and then this way. So I'm going to end up over here. So I'm going to park my carrier pretty close to where I think I'm going to end up. So that if a worm does come, I'm going to be closer instead of farther away. And also, I like to have my carrier parked on the left side of where I'm driving, because that's the side you get out on. So it gives you a much quicker dismount and get in the carrier in order to get up in the air. When I get in the carrier, I immediately have just space bar and I hold down the hook and then I maneuver to where I need the hook to get to. But yeah, I've got that hook out the whole time. I still haven't been able to break the habit of looking around just to make sure nobody comes and mess with me. I don't think I'm going to get all this in a single run. Yep. We're going to have to do 2. Now, I said earlier that I'll do 3 runs, and that's when I start worrying. These are much shorter runs than the full length would, so I could probably do 4 of these pretty easily without having too much of a concern. Looks like there's a storm back at the wall. You see here I missed a little bit from where the carrier was parked a little too close. So we're going to actually back up. Like I said, we're not savages here, folks. Try to get every bit of it. And now we got this one. So you see how much closer I am when I end a run to the carrier? That's going to help. The worst thing that could happen is if I'm up here and he breaches. That also comes into play when you're thinking, can I push it for another run or should I reset? If you ask yourself that question, my advice would be to reset, because it's not a good enough situation if you're asking in the first place. If the worm breaches, hit C to bring that up. You'll notice you get a lot more speed. Get this sucker close. And we're golden. And we hit the claw, move over, let it go as soon as the circle gets big, and then hit spacebar to get as much height as you possibly can, and we're off and running. Coming up on 2 hours. I got one more thing that I want to do. So we're going to go to the map. There's the field we just cleared, and here is another large. I'm hoping that there's nothing on that, so we're going to go take a look and see. The reason I hope no one's here is because I want to try this thumper thing and see if being on a dead spice field will... You can stop that right now. Thank you. That's a little glitchy thing that happens sometimes. Usually when you jump out of it, like I jumped out in midair with the carrier, now it's kind of stuck in a claw glitch thing. But we'll deal with it. Hopefully that'll fix itself when we get here. I'm going to see if you need to have an actual spice field for that thing up top there, the large spice harvesting, to disappear. Somebody earlier in the stream said that you could do it over just open sand. Before we get down there, I want to bring up my inventory, and we're going to replace that with an actual thumper. Okay. I mean, technically, I'm doing it. I am doing the requirement. We want to make sure this is actually a dead field, and there's no geysers or pools starting, because then that means we got spice on the way, and we don't need to get caught up in that mess. It's like she got yeeted a little bit. We did come in kind of hot. That'll be perfect. So now I'm going to run real far away. Not enough support. We're going to put this... I think that'll work, right? Okay, look at that. We didn't even need to draw a worm. And we got it done. Came awful quick, didn't he? He should go after the thumper, though. Let's see if he does. He did. Just ate my thumper. If you want to make thumpers, that's something else you can do. You can go, when the worm comes out, jump out, throw a thumper, and then jump back in and drive away. It'll get you some time, but honestly, it seems like there's enough time to get there and get back. So, we've only gotten one field, which is a shame. We are at the 2-hour mark, but I'll tell you what, guys, we're going to push it a little bit further. Let's see where we're at. Let's just make our way. We are going to go straight west, maybe a little downward angle, because like I said, we could see pretty far. It's midday again, so not the best best sight lines, but we're going to try to get high up in the air and see what we can do. This shut off, so let me turn this back on here real quick. It's midday again, so... Oh... Yep, Blossom, hope that did help. Have you been on a spice field when there's no activity in the worm meter and then the sand moves under your feet and my copter sinks a little bit? The ground moves like the worm went underneath you? Yes. Supposedly the patrolling worms are not going to, they're not aggroed and they're not going to kill you. I actually have a little bit of a video saved of that exact same thing happening, to where I was just kind of sitting there and it was coming near me, so I shut down, was just waiting, and then he went right underneath and I went up in the air and then came back down. That'll do something to you, you know. that will do something to you. Oh man, we are dropping a little too quickly, and let's go ahead, drain those 2 pockets. One thing that's cool about autofly is if you do drop in altitude and you want to come back up, you can hit the space bar and that'll give you direct lift as well as forward motion, and it doesn't shut off autofly. If you try to turn with the ASD, those keys, that'll shut off autofly like this. Right there. See, it just killed autofly. Right shift brings it back on. But just hitting the space bar to get a little bit of air, a little bit more altitude. Look, there's people down there. So here we have a medium field, and they are doing circles. I don't know if that is solo or if that's somebody else. And there's another blast that's right down there. It's like Mortal Kombat. But more power to them. There's no reason for me to go down there and intervene. I missed it. So, it's the way it is. Looks like that is a two-man team because he is staying up in the air, so that's good. Yep. Where was the field that was already used? Was that the one in the center? I think it was. That's this one right here. Let's go see if there's still some spice on it. Doesn't look like there is. Nope. That's been eaten, I think. Yep. I can head over here, but more often than not, when you see, that's a signal flare for everybody. So everybody out here sees this, especially since it's so centrally located. The chances of us finding this empty with nobody else on it are very, very slim, as well as the chance of us being able to harvest this without somebody else coming in and taking part in it as well. So, but we'll go see. It's one of the reasons why we bring so much fuel with it. Speaking of, let's get it full. How much do we have still? So much fuel. I think our wings will come off before we run out of fuel. Is this a large? It is. Happy day. I didn't even realize that. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Here we got a large field that's going off, right? This is most likely a solo farmer because he's down there by himself and he has his carrier on the ground. Over here, we've got another guy, looks like a duo team, because he's in the air following along. Alright, so the duo, he does an instantaneous pickup, so that's awesome. This guy here, he's got a little bit of time that he's got to go, but he gets a hold of it. Get some height, dude. Get some height, dude. There you go. Good job. Just some critique. I did this in the beginning too. When the worm comes up, you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta get out of here. So he jumps out of his carrier and runs to his stopter. Not a good call. You want to stay in your carrier, pull the vacuum up, because you're going to be doing like 20, 25 kilometers per hour in your carrier close the distance so that when you jump out of it, you're just right there and you're in your carrier. What am I doing right now? We're just watching. I'm critiquing. I'm being judgmental. That worm's still patrolling, guys. Y'all need to be a tad bit careful. Yeah, they got scared. He went right through the field, right under him. Same thing you were talking about. This guy here right now, he's trying to think like, am I okay or is it scary? So it's already gone, brother. You're good. And it wasn't even coming after you. Yeah, there you go. Just drop back down. Me getting on that field would be horrible. There's already enough going on. That guy got his thing going again. He took off. I don't know if you saw him. He took off. I think he didn't realize he had his vacuum up, so he had to go back over it. What's that? Do we have a scout coming in? Ah, look, we do. So this guy here is making a judgment call right now. He's like, oh, do I want to go down there too, or do I not? Oh, he just yeeted that. Let's see what decision he makes. Trolls out there. Let's see if this guy does the same thing again, where he like does the real quick when the worm, here it comes. All right, we got another ornithopter out there. Alright, looks like they're just going in. So life just got terrible for this guy right here. Because this team is a team of two, and so is this one. And they can take a little bit more risk than a solo crawler can. Man, you're flying way too low. Yeah, it's a busy little section here. That right there is happening mostly because of how low that guy is. That was a quick spawn. Let's see if our boy's going to get out of the way. He's up. He's in. That was pretty close. I'm going to actually get a little bit of height here. And we're going to move over to a lower... Oh! We're going to move over to a lower spot. Because as you can see, I'm on this here. A worm that comes across the top there, if he tries to breach, bad things will occur. I see this solo guy. He was up a little too high up in the air. He is just now getting started. These guys have already been making their pass. In fact, this guy was moving. These two are not so much. And we got a guy compacting. Watch how quick a worm comes. Join them? No, not at all. I appreciate my equipment far too much. I don't need that spice. Excuse me, not that bad. The Thopter that's running over here on the left, that one, that's a glitch. Same thing with the other one, apparently. Visual problem for me. There's the worm. Is he gonna make it? Is he gonna make it? Oh, buddy. It wasn't after him. It's after the compactor guy. He's the one that's going to aggro the worm more often. Sometimes you get yourself caught up in the mix. Yeah, there probably isn't too many people in the PvP side. We're also kind of hanging out here because, Shiloh, you're absolutely right. 3 carriers is the lead. I've summoned Grandpappy with 3. And we have 3 on this field. Plus we've got Compactor Boy. That patrol scared him. See how quick he's coming? When we first got here, these guys were making their pattern runs. That's dangerous, my friend. Hi, kitty. He went after the compactor, who immediately drops right back down. So one thing about the guys doing hand compacting is they can get back in line so quick. These guys here are just tearing ass through this field. They don't care about how pretty it looks or how efficient it is. They just want to get lines. You're all right. You're okay. He's over here. He's gonna go right along there. It's not, I'm not fancy. It's just, that's what they do. Tell you what we need is we need this guy to come down here and do it too. Hell, why not, right? That's how you know it's a true party. Oh, he yeeted. Oh, man. By the time he gets set up, since he yeeted, compactor probably already have summoned a worm. Jack, that's me watching in the scout. Is it? You're up there? That's you up there? Are you overwatching a friend, or are you just, oh, you're out here by yourself? Hell yeah. I would say pocket the scout, and you could take my crawler, but I don't want to go down there either. I'm honestly just watching. I don't like admitting this, but I'm just kind of watching to see if somebody gets 8 or if this field gets reset. We need a thumper group. Yeah, see, I got thumpers on me, but I told you the thumpers were for the mission. Mission's done. I'm gonna keep the thumpers out. Yeah, 4 crawlers, 3 crawlers, and a compactor. That's a close proximity spawn. See, he should have gotten closer. Because now he has to jump out, cover this ground. Luckily, it's coming over here. But you can see... Man, they went high up in the air. So when I reset a field, me and another guy in a crawler, we just kind of got out there over the field. Didn't even set down. We just hovered. And there was a person compacting. And between the 3 of us was enough of a disruption for... you got yeeted. Was enough of a disruption for the big worm to come. So... This guy's not adding to the problem because he's landing. This guy gets a little too close for comfort. You're kind of getting a little low. You got to be lower for it to happen, at least in my experience. But now here's what I was talking about as far as solo crawling. This guy is getting a little too far away. Especially in this situation since compactor is making it happen so quickly. Whoop. About to fill up his still suit. You're good, everybody. You don't have to worry about it. When that happens, if you just shut down, you'll be alright. See, like he did. He just kind of stopped. They're not, at this point, it's just not efficient anymore, you know? Yeah, you're getting spice. They're getting good amounts, don't get me wrong, but scary stuff. This is also why at least on my server, I'm not seeing these fields open as much because it blows out, it pops off like it did. Everyone comes running out to it, and then so much activity ends up making Grandpappy come. This guy's actually doing a smart thing. He's going through some of those higher concentrations. These guys are doing okay here, but they're spending a lot of time on the fringes. There we go. You remember how I said preferably what I like to do is I like to go right through the center to get the highest concentrations and then work my way out to the outsides. Same thing with this. If this was a completely empty field and no one was there, like I would set down right around in here and I would just work back and forth right here through this middle, just sawing my way through that, and then I'd probably have to go up in the air a couple times, and then when I didn't, I would come down and do the other side. So we'd knock this middle portion out before anything. I've seen people will like start on one end and go all the way through. That's cool and all, but you're not making the best use of your time. It's funny, I can see the circle for his deploy. This guy's already down compacting. This guy's been on the ground for a while, and so is this, before he even gets over there and gets started. So he's really getting the raw end. Solo crawling, that's what happens, especially if you're fighting. If you're farming with a 2-man team, as soon as I hit the ground, dude's off. This guy is too low. So is he. He's not as bad. This guy is really bad. You should not be that low. You're watching the stream, I guess, because he just picked up even a little higher. This is bad. He should have drove it over instead of running. And the other bad thing is you want to stay away from compactor guy because he's the one that's going to be drawing the worm. So if you're going to do a pickup, you want to kind of head this way to get away from that. He's just cutting him loose, letting him hit the ground, taking advantage of the lack of collision damage in this game. So you could drop a vehicle from way up in the air. The way he does that is he's flying and then he'll just move to one of the other seats. That immediately cuts any cargo you have. Do you remember earlier when I was talking, I said that I like to set it up to where I end up? See who gets scared here. Just a patrol. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine too. You're fine. Just stop moving. There you go. Now you can go. But you remember how I said I'd prefer to end up closer to the Thopter. See, this is good. So when the worm... No, you're fine. You're okay. Now you're not. This is great. See, look how close he is. Perfect. Way better than, you know, being over here and having to cross that distance. And yeah, you're seeing it correctly. Every time when that worm spawns, he's coming over to where the compactor guy is. It's not his fault. I mean, he's doing the best he can with the equipment he got. I don't know what he has. Even if he's got soft step boots and a bunch of skill perks and he's got a compact compactor and he's doing everything he can to be the quietest, he's still the loudest guy down there. Nothing can stop that. The only thing he could do is he could space out his shots. Because, you know, the compactor itself is what makes the noise. You firing it makes the noise, and then the compaction does as well. If he spaced them out, like did 1, 2, and then just stopped, he could elongate the time for everybody. Not by a whole lot, but by enough. People either don't know that or they don't care. We can kind of see he's firing off 1, 2, 3, 4. He's all over the place. He was just here, then this one disappeared. Must be running back. Couldn't be much worse for him. Stay in your vehicle. There you go. There you go. Could have got closer, brother. I understand, but you could have got closer. The reason I say that is because the vehicle moves faster than you do. So when you've got distance to cover, the vehicle will do it much faster. And he went after the compactor again. How's my weekend going? Pretty good. If I'm early in the morning during the week, it's not that bad. Yeah, you can find some certain times. Once you get to a server, you can get an idea of when most of the people are out. Like earlier this morning, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't this many people. But usually when I'd go to a spice blow, there would 50-50 chance there was somebody there. In about 3 or 4 hours, these will all be wide open. Nobody will be out here. Alright, so what's going on? Dude, you got to get up off that ground. Get off the ground. Come on, bud. So here, you'll notice everybody's staying up high because this field is getting eaten. If you've never seen a grandfather worm, you're about to. Yeah, you better get up. Sir? You need to get off that field, sir. I've never seen Grandfather Worm eat somebody. I saw the warning. Hi, kitty. Come on, man. Come eat these people. Eat this field. I'm sorry, I didn't say eat the people. I don't see any ships nearby. It definitely showed up right there in front of me. Oh, it's a regular worm. But it looks like it was enough to scare everybody away. This is one of the reasons why I don't have that much spice for the week. I mean, I've still got like 5, 6, 7K, but oh, nice. Yeah, this is one of the reasons why I don't have a whole bunch, because we just spent like 20 minutes sitting here staring at these guys getting spice. It's okay though, you know? That was definitely Grandpappy's signals. I wonder why it canceled. Unless they evac'd enough. Already got away. I would go down there if Compactor Guy goes away. I'm not being mean. I'm just saying he draws a level of aggro that I don't want to deal with. The second time it spawned close enough that we're looking down his throat. Nah, he was over there compacting, that's why. Oh, he's had enough. He's like, screw this. I am done with this. I cannot believe this guy's assault still has space, brother. That guy got a lot of spice out of this field. He did well too. These guys not so much. They got a little crazy cray creative, but it would be great if he finally clears out, then I go down as soon as I touch down. Grandpa comes. Unnecessarily far away. Land better. Land closer to where you're going to go and stay close to your thopter. Collect all the stuff around it, and then when you go up, when you come back down, land in a better patch. That's some distance to cover. Would appear as though he has filled up, though. He is heading back somewhere else. This guy's leaving. Yeah, you know what? We'll try. I've got the room. I don't expect this to be here for very long. So I have the perk that allows me to see the grading. Got a nice dark patch in here. This is where we're going to start. Getting upset. I just got too high. Alright, so because I had to play around here and we've got somebody else compacting now, I don't really want to hit ground. Yeah, I don't want to land. That's why. Okay, let's see if we can do this without getting yeeted. That would be appreciated. We'll let him go. He's going to go after that space right there. See, I don't know what it is about dropping this thing on the ground. Thank you. Now you hear him already compacting like an idiot, so eventually I'm not going to get this view anymore. And here I am going to do the slow tapping. No, I'm not. We're going to do a fast run right in. And then we're going to do a fast run back because this guy's going to summon a worm way soon. I don't want to get too close because then that visual stuff starts happening. Let's see. Not good. Not good for the amount of time that we've been out. Yeah, I don't understand the logic, but I could cross this field in my crawler and not aggro a worm. But this guy jumps out and just does that, and a worm comes almost instantly. Do not bounce. Do not bounce. Thank you. I guess it's the whole Holtzman shield effect thing. That they don't like the Holtzman sound, like your personal shield and jumping and stuff like that. But they don't seem to mind giant vehicles with treads running around over them. As you can see, this really isn't worth it for me. If I was here alone, it would be a different story. But with gung-ho there, no point in hanging out here. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to... Guess that's your base, Shyla? You're still up there? You got a lot of fuel. So I'm going to head out. We're going to head towards our base, see if maybe we can catch a... You know what? We kind of cut our search. F5. We cut our search pretty quick. Let's go out here. Let's just see if there's anything along the way. Because if I go to a medium, I could pull 17K out of it in the same amount of time as I'll only be able to drop 3 or 4 times on that field with the compactor guide there. My hope is the eventual process will be that players like that guy back there will eventually get to the point where he can make his own crawler. And then he'll come out here with a crawler, and then things will kind of tone down. But as soon as he leaves, probably somebody else who's at that stage is gonna come in, and then they're gonna kind of be activating the worm aggro so much faster. So it may honestly never end. I kind of expected this to happen. This was a side effect of me expecting loads and loads and loads of people hitting those large fields. I thought there'd be like 7, 8, 9 people at any given moment on any large field that popped open. It has been kind of low. There's usually maybe only 4 or 5. That's about half what I thought. But it's still more than enough to start causing aggro problems. The constant worm aggro is just a side effect of all those people. Apparently I was estimating how many people it takes to cause a pretty heavy aggro problem like that. We don't want to be that high. But you saw me hit that medium field earlier. I can go to a medium field and just calmly and very coolly just do what I'm doing. I think larger fields are more for guilds. They always kind of have been, but definitely at least a 2-man team. If you get a 4-man team, like 4 guild mates going out there, one working on one side, one working on the other, that's how you supply a guild with your with spice. It'll work really well. Looks like we got a field coming up here, but with one up, I don't think there's going to be anything there. You wonder why people get thumpered in the deep desert? Yeah. Sometimes I'm a little too nice about things. I tend to think that people don't know something before I think that they're just being douchebags about it. Um, if you're a solo player, you have no idea the difference between the crawler and compacting. Um, that's the thought that keeps me from getting upset in that kind of a situation, like I was just in there. Um, if I'm on a medium and a guy drops in and starts compacting, come on, man, seriously. And I've said that before in chat. I'd be like, "Yo, seriously, dude, what are you doing?" I did a medium yesterday, I think it was, or the day before, and I did my 3 shots going up the middle. Took to the air for a worm aggro, dropped in and was working the other side. And it only takes me, as you saw before, 3 runs and I'll clear that whole field. So I was into my second run, and a dude in a assault dropped in on the other side and just boom, 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 started compacting. It's like, come on, man, what are you doing? And I know that his theory or the way he looks at it, he's like, there's enough space to go around. Yes, there is, and that's not the problem I'm having. The problem is you're risking my equipment. As you can see from the stream tonight, I don't need any help in that area. I'm really good at risking my own stuff. So stop. All right, so there's a medium over here, but there's already somebody on it, and I could kind of tell that because a worm just came through. This guy's, I think, eating a ship, dude. I don't know if you upset him, but he's already on that one, so there's no reason to check that. But unfortunately, if you look at the map, we are very close to this upper corner. So I'm going to come up here, we'll go to our marker, and then I'm just going to make a right, and we're going to keep looking. But if we don't find anything, then it is what it is. Such a horrible statement, such a corporate statement. Oh, it is what it is. It's funny. That was like the answer. If you didn't like the way something was, like this isn't running properly, this isn't equal, it isn't fair, whatever you want to say, any kind of description or whatever, and that was corporate's way of just avoiding having to be held accountable for something. Hey, it is what it is. Man, do they not like it when that's your response to a question they have. Hey, how come your sales are down? It is what it is. Just a little work experience from the old Jackrabbit Max. Oliver, you still back here? You're sleeping though, aren't you? Hi. Nobody can see you though. You having fun? Yeah, it's not looking good for the home team here, guys. This is a busy time for this server. Pretty much between like 4 and 10 p.m. you're getting a constant flow of people. This is an Eastern server, and I'm an Eastern player, so this is prime time for us. Like Shayla had said, that she goes out early morning, and it's usually much less people out here. It's a very good point, and there's a lot to be said about spice farming during the off times. As long as enough people don't do it that the off time now becomes the on time. There's no excuse for compacting the large fields. The server's on the top 5, and then I always seen medium spice fields. Yeah, I'm It's crazy. We're flying right along the border of the
Sector
map.
weather alert. A
And
large sandstorm is approaching.
we know how well that went last time. Yeah, we're cruising right along on the edge here. 6 minutes. I don't know, man. Them wings are already a little beat up. I don't think I can take another storm. Hopefully, we are evading it because we are moving, or we're heading straight to it. The way you know you're heading towards it is if it says 6 minutes and you stop and hover, it'll take a minute before it says 5, roughly. If you're flying into
Sector
it,
weather alert. A large
it happens a
sandstorm
lot
is
faster. So
approaching.
honestly, I think that one probably directly ahead of us. We are flying into it with the quickness that we're seeing there. Got a Thopter pulling up out of this. We used to get much better warnings, but that doesn't seem to happen anymore.
Sector weather alert. A large
Yeah, we
sandstorm
gotta
is
be
approaching.
flying directly into it. I'm gonna head south. We're gonna engage some rockets. I don't have the ability to vulture like I did last time, so we can't quite get the speed up. But we're gonna risk it, you know? There's gotta be a level of danger in this game somewhere. Looks like a spice bloom over there, but I haven't seen my base go, the shields go down. That's also a way that you can tell, like, know
Sector
where
weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
you are in reference to your base, and see if your base shields have dropped. That doesn't bother me so much. I mean, I don't normally like to overheat, but I'm not upset that it happened because we're just trying to get distance from wherever this storm that we can't seem to see yet is. Man, I can only hope it opens up right in front of us. Look at us almost doing a 3-hour stream. What the hell is that? Oh, we spent a half hour watching other people collect spice. Weather Lady's not warning us anymore. That's usually a good sign that you've outrun the storm, but still
Sector
do not.
weather alert.
Okay, she's
A
still
large
talking to us.
sandstorm is approaching.
Alright, so it's over there. Looks like we've cleared the center, so if we just keep going straight south, we should be just fine. There's the spice field we were on a second ago. Compactor guys are still on it. More power to them. Everything's okay when that number there starts going up instead of down. I think that storm's going to reset the field. Yeah, we're clear. Alright, so we're going to actually head to our base, and that's going to be it for us tonight. We still got some stuff to do. I may get Stravidium later tonight. I may wait till tomorrow. That is not high on my priority list. We did not get very much spice at all on this run. Earlier today, like I said, I made 3 separate runs. One real early in the morning that was really good. I hit 3 medium fields in succession, so I was excited about that, and nobody else was there. The second one, which was much closer to the early afternoon, I did get 1 full field by myself. The other 2 that I found, somebody had already taken the center out of it, so it was like a donut, and I was like, savages. So I cleaned those up, and then I did manage to get a couple swipes before the worms chased me away on that large field that time. So that was a good run as well. So I had 2 good ones, not great, but they were good. This, I'm pretty sure we're gonna be lucky if we've got 2 rows. I was getting 5 rows of spice on all the other ones, but we're almost an hour over our normal time, and big storm. Yeah, actually, I tell you what, we're gonna get to a safe spot. Looks like the closest one is, whoa, right here beside us. Let's drop down and we'll hop out of the ye old carrier. Take a look at how much spice we actually got. Like I said, if I've got 2 rows, I'll be surprised. Gonna yeet yourself out into the desert? No, because I'm landing on in a completely non-important area. All right, how much is in you? I said 2 rows, I'd be surprised. So that's at least 2 batches of spice I can go make. This will not be enough to make 3 out of what I already have. I think I have 25 and 13. So this will get me over the halfway point for another batch. But yeah, I'll get 2 batches out of this. It's 400 melange. It's not bad. Roughly an hour's worth of work, so that I've had better. Definitely done better. If I went out to the deep desert and risk getting shot up, that would be a totally different story. That 2.5 multiplier does really make a difference, but anywho. Alright, well, we got a race happening. One happened today, and I couldn't make it to that one because of this stream and other stuff I was doing. But tomorrow, I'm going to see about getting some footage of that one. I have the original, the first race I was at was almost finished with the footage of that. If you watch my content, you know my least favorite part is the voiceover, and that's the part I'm on. So the structure of the video and everything else is already done. That's good. And cutting, the footage down, etc. So we're well over it, and I've got most of the graphics done too. So there's a lot of work on it, but it's the least favorite part that I have to finish, and I got to get that finished. I said I'd have it done this weekend. We got to do what we say. What's up, Chopper? You're just coming in when I'm just getting ready to go, man. And I even did an extra hour, bro. But it is good to see you, man. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. Wasn't too much going on, but hopefully I gave you some advice and some pointers. That's what we try to do here. I got to take my dog out. We're approaching the summer months, which means it's going to start getting hot in here. So hoping to move to the room downstairs that has one of those silent AC units. I live up in the mountains in the rural areas, so we don't believe in central air here. So it's all window units and fans, which don't like streaming. I'm sure my microphone has a way to cut it out, but I haven't figured it out yet. I guess I should work on that too. But anywho, I will be dropping down some altitude since we went a little too high. There we go. But yeah, I will be back on Monday. We'll be closing up shop up here and getting an idea of exactly how well we did. This is horrifying, but look at this. Holy cow. We got some Landsraad stuff we have to do. I'm at 25 out of 35, for goodness sakes. I do want to talk about the Landsraad just a tad. Last week, I was talking, I think I mentioned this earlier, but last week I was working towards house rewards that gave me a Walker engine for this crawler, a set of albatross wings, and then a bloodshot buggy engine. And it was after I did all that that I went and collected the rewards, so yay. And then I was putting them away in my boxes, like I have a vehicle blueprint box of stuff I saved. I don't just automatically do them. In case somebody needs one, I can give it to them, give them the pattern. Easy, buddy. Dude, look how high up I am. Why am I getting that warning? But anywho, have like 7 Walker engines. I was like, dude, you wasted your time. You didn't need that thing. Oh well. That's part of the danger of not paying attention to the stuff you got. But I was looking. Let's go ahead. Up. Let's go ahead and kill our auto fly here now. Man, she does not want to turn. There you go. Nice and easy, sister. But we're too high, apparently. But we're going to take a look at the Landsraad and decide what items we need to get this week. And we're going to have to spend some time. I may go ahead and cut my Deep Desert Adventures out early. I think I have to do a couple missions, at least now, because like I said, it's getting up there. It's like 25. So we'll highlight that on Monday. Take a look at where we're going. We might end up cutting our Deep Desert Fun short tonight. Or maybe I'll just do about 15 missions just to get it to a respectable number. Really going to depend on what they offer. We'll take a look at that real quick once we get this guy inside. We only got a minute. Yeah, we can spend a minute looking at the Landsraad. That's fine. So I was looking earlier, and this one, a Focus Buggy Cutaway. Nice. I'll take that. I have several, but I don't always use another one, so definitely going to be putting points in there. I was looking at this. I always love the Compact Compactor Mark 6. I think I need the Emperor's Wings Mark 5. I've never gotten that. I have Mark 6 Emperor Wings, and I think I have like 2 or 3. So that's just like a little double bonus. Everything else, I didn't really see anything that screamed at me. I will tell you one thing I'm going to need to see. I'm going to need to see some wings here real soon. Hummingbird, I don't think rock wings are going to show up on this. I know you can get them. You can get them from the vendor when you win the Landsraad. Cutaway Mark 5, but I don't need that. And I do also have to go through this because we started Walker saying don't need that, so we're going to kind of stay away from that. I did take a notice that in your research, some of these items you get through Landsraad stuff. So I haven't been paying attention to this. Like this is an earlier form of a cutaway, probably a Mark III, which I don't have. I just never got it. This would be a Mark IV. And this should be Mark V stuff, right? Yep. But I don't see a cutter Mark V listed here. Oh, wait, there it is. Yeah. So, you know, if I see a Cutaway Mark IV or a Mark III, I need to get that. This is some kind of a blood bag. I'm not sure which one. A Baron's blood bag, I doubt. I think that's further down here. But yeah, some of this stuff I need to get through Landsraad rewards. So I need to start paying attention to those as well as we try to make these numbers match much better. Just another thing to do as part of being a completionist. Some of these things are only found in crash ships. Some are only found in labs. And some are available Landsraad rewards. So I got to pay attention to that. But that's what we're going to be doing here. Ooh. After this, we were just coming out here, honestly, for funsies. I still have plenty. I still have plenty of spice at home. Like I said, I got half a box, and we just added 6K to the amount we have, and we're continuing to add more as we go through. This is a little scary. You know me, I don't normally like getting that close. I'm only 200 away, but it's a solid 200. She'll run. Alright, so we got 2, and I don't think we're going to have enough to do a third batch, right? Nope. Yep, so we're over halfway there. I would say we're 2/3 of the way there. The next trip out, when I come back, I should be able to make 3 batches. And that'll be fine. So, off we go. But yep, so that's what we're looking at in the future. Got a race tomorrow that we're going to try to get some video for. We have Landsraad stuff that we got to do at least a dent into, and I want to start working a little more on those missing researches and patterns and stuff that I don't have. I did get a little discouraged because I still need the ones out of the anomaly, and that can't the hidden cave that's by the anvil, and every time I go there I get the same thing. I get like a Mark II compound compactor, and I'm like, guys, come on, there's more than this. I can't get anything different. So it did get me down, and when that happens I usually go find something else to do for a while, and we'll get back to it. But that's where we are, so that's where we are. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Like, subscribe, share. Those things help the channel. We're almost at 800. I think we're within like 10 or so, 10 or 12. So very close. And we'll keep on doing what we keep on doing. But thank you very much for watching. And as always, I will see you out there. Take care.